In a time of famine, loss, and uncertainty, God wrote one of the most beautiful love and redemption stories in the Bible. This is not just the story of Ruth. It is the story of how God turns loss into legacy, pain into purpose, and faithfulness into destiny. The story begins during the time of the Judges, a dark and unstable period in Israel's history. A severe famine struck the land of Bethlehem in Judah. To survive, a man named Elimelech left his homeland with his wife Naomi and their 2 sons. They journeyed to the land of Moab, hoping to find food and safety. But tragedy followed them. Elimelech died. Naomi became a widow in a foreign land. Her sons later married Moabite women, Orpah and Ruth. Then, after about 10 years, both sons died as well. Naomi was left broken, a widow, childless, and far from home.
Naomi heard that God had blessed his people again in Judah. Food had returned to Bethlehem. So she decided to go home. She urged her daughters-in-law to stay in Moab and rebuild their lives. Orpah wept and returned to her people, but Ruth refused to leave. With deep conviction, Ruth declared, "Where you go, I will go. Where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God, my God." This was more than loyalty. It was a decision of faith. Ruth chose God, even when the future was uncertain.
Favor finds the faithful. Boaz noticed Ruth and asked about her. When he learned of her loyalty to Naomi, he showed her extraordinary kindness, protecting her, providing water, and allowing her to gather freely. Boaz prayed a blessing over her. "May the Lord repay you for what you have done. May you be richly rewarded under whose wings you have come to take refuge." That day, Ruth returned home with more than enough. And Naomi realized God had not abandoned them. Naomi recognized that Boaz was a kinsman redeemer, a close relative with the legal right to restore their family line. Following Naomi's guidance, Ruth approached Boaz humbly at the threshing floor. She said, "Spread the corner of your garment over me, for you are a guardian redeemer." Boaz praised her character and agreed to redeem her, but explained there was another relative with the first right. Still, he promised to settle the matter.
The next morning, Boaz met the elders at the city gate. The closer redeemer declined the responsibility. Boaz then publicly redeemed Naomi's land and took Ruth as his wife. The people blessed them, declaring that Ruth would be fruitful and honored in Israel. God blessed Ruth and Boaz with a son named Obed. Naomi, once empty and bitter, now held a child in her arms. The women rejoiced, saying, "The Lord has not left you without a redeemer." What began with famine and funerals ended with fullness and joy. Obed became the father of Jesse. Jesse became the father of David, the king of Israel. And through this family line came Jesus Christ. A foreign widow became part of God's eternal plan. The story of Ruth reminds us God sees the faithful. God honors loyalty. God redeems what looks broken. If you feel forgotten today, remember this: your obedience may be shaping a future you cannot yet see.